Well, I just gosh, what time is it? It's going on noon, midday, Saturday in Mollymook Beach, New South Wales, Australia, where I'm coming to you live from the Southern Hemisphere and giving you a little bit of Christmas down under. So just coming into you live with some top 10 tips to supercharge your next decade, your next fundraising decade. So I'm excited about sharing some of those top tips with you and what they may or may not be. Love to hear yours as well. But we'll wait a few minutes. I hope that you all just caught my live on actually Southern Hemisphere Christmas and my view that I actually am so blessed to have while I'm staying here, right? So it's actually Saturday. Shouldn't technically be working on a Saturday, but got lots of projects and lots of things to do, and excited to come in here with some tips on how to supercharge your fundraising for 2020. Hello, Jason. How are you? Merry Christmas. Welcome to my live. You're like my super #1 fan. I wish I could bring you on and maybe make you talk or something, but I can't seem to do that. Oh, you are so, look at all the hearts and the likes and everything else. Jason, all is well with me. I hope the same of you, right? Keep giving me some likes and some hearts there. Let's see if we can get some more people onto this broadcast. That would be outstanding, right? We'll play a little Christmas music, Jason, and wait for some yay! Hearts and love and everything else. Just so outstanding. So for Jason, I'm going to share on the top 10 tips to supercharge your fundraising in a little bit. See who else we have joining us. See, I don't know how many people are on Facebook tonight. Do we have, I wonder how many people are on Facebook, Jason? Probably a lot, or maybe it's Friday night and everybody's at Christmas parties and all that. I don't know. More. Oh my gosh. Thinking of me as your #1. You're awesome. You are so awesome. Gosh. Remember Mrs. Hyland's class? Were you in kindergarten with me or first grade? I don't remember. So we have quite a number of people online. So let's just go ahead and get started with our top 10 tips to supercharge your fundraising. So I sat down tonight and today, my world, and I was thinking about, if I were an organization, what kinds of things should I really be thinking about within my organization, right? So as you're planning your fundraising for 2020 and even beyond that into the next decade, this is always a good time to stop and reflect upon what you can or could, right, do a little bit differently or even better to supercharge your fundraising. So here's a couple of items. Number one, I recommend that you think about stewardship. We've done a lot of asking of donors over the last several months, this giving season, and so it really is time to put together a fairly comprehensive stewardship plan for our donors. You should have at least 3 stewardship touches for every ask that you are going to make. There's Jason. Yes, Mrs. Hyland was in kindergarten, Mrs. Mata. And yes, you are right. So yeah, so 3 stewardship touches for every ask. Tip number 2 is think about your case for support. Every organization should have consistent messaging around why they need contributed income. Think about a development audit to really look at, if you haven't done an audit in quite some time. A development audit is a good place to start to get another baseline checkup on your fundraising program. And then from there, make sure that you're operating with some kind of development plan. So ensure that you have a development plan in place. The other piece of that is to think about your online presence and think about your digital strategies. Think about things like what your landing page looks like, how quickly it is to upload your website, and capturing all those folks who are visiting your website and engaging them into some kind of indoctrination or donor journey stream. The next tip is to think about your database, and I would be more than glad to give you a database manual that you can take away from this presentation. But think about, cleaning up your database, running some key effectiveness reports, as well as putting in place a database standards and consistency manual. Think about your key metrics, right? What are the key metrics that you should be measuring, and how are you going to go about doing those evaluations of those key metrics? So what are the key metrics? How do you define them? What goals are you setting around them? And then how are you evaluating your progress made to keep to key metrics? Also be thinking about your brand and doing a brand audit, as well as board development. What does your current board look like in composition? Does it meet the needs of your organization? And perhaps be thinking about putting in place a board recruitment policy and procedures, and thinking about your board composition. And then lastly, where is your individual giving program, your major gift program? And this is a great opportunity and a great time to be thinking about developing your individual giving program. So things like doing prospect research, things like developing a portfolio for any size fundraising program, all those sorts of things can go into planning a major gift program or individual giving program effort. So those were some top 10 tips for supercharging your fundraising in 2020 and into the next decade. Think stewardship, think case for support, think about your online presence and going digital, think about your database, think about a fundraising audit, think development plan, think brand audit, think key metrics, think board development, and think individual giving as well. So I sure hope that you have enjoyed these top 10 tips to supercharge your fundraising in 2020 and into the next decade, and have found them super useful in your planning. I know we're all busy during calendar year end. However, we have to be thinking about what is going to happen once the calendar rolls into 2020. So I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you're not packing too much, wrapping too much. Packing, I've been packing too much, but we don't have a lot of that down here in the Southern Hemisphere, because Christmas isn't as big as it is in the Northern Hemisphere, which is a good thing. It means I save some money. Well, have a great weekend, everyone. I look forward to seeing you back in the Facebook group sometime next week. Merry Christmas.
When the door opened wide, the child